Welcome, welcome. You have entered the Master's lair. In this episode, we're going to see, do you think that black people were targeted for porn? Black people came over as slaves to the U.S., and to their surprise, they found uh, booties, asses, and coming in the Bible. And that is the King James Bible. And so the question, of course, is, do you think black people were targeted for slavery? Okay, we're going to wheel into this photo of America. I want to make sure that we can see a guy there. Basically, we're going to get to this cross that you see. So first, we're going to try and outline the guy. We're going to put a circle around his lips. And, okay, there's a circle around his lips. And make sure that we can see our guy. This is America towards the horizontal side. Okay, we're going to put circles around his eyes. See if we can see his eyes. Okay. And we put a circle around his arm there. And it seems like he's holding a child in there. Okay. And the turtle, and this guy has a hip. And so we're going to circle around his hip. Okay, and we're going to look now vertically and see that's the turtle's head in Michigan. That's Michigan. There's going to be a turtle's head there. You can see it on the flag of Michigan. Okay, going to the cross now. If you haven't found the cross, this is the cross's shoes. Okay, and the cross stands up vertically from around Greenland. We have an open hand, okay, that we're going to circle around, and we have a closed fist. This is going to be important for the master's art. We're going to outline the entire cross, and so you can get a bigger scope of the American. Seems to be a cross within the guy, and that was the guy's hip. Okay, and next we're gonna find out what puts Jakarta in our world. Okay, you'll see a guy. This is the Great Lakes. The guy skiing is in black. That is the Great Lakes. And the turtle's head is in white. That is Michigan. The guy skiing is going west to east, which puts WE on the map. And then he switches. He goes east to west, EW. Ooh. His arm is around turtle's head either way. But when he goes east to west, there is something in the turtle's mouth. Okay, they have Hindu temples all over Michigan, but none directly in the mouths of the turtle. They have completely avoided this place, and that place is called Saginaw Bay of Michigan. I love Hindu people. They have some 1,000 Hindu temples around America, but for some reason, this place was unfortunate for them. Let's see what the Bible has to say about it. When the children of Israel were coming out of Egypt, they had to get rid of the Canaanite people, or else the Canaanite people would be a thorn at their side. They'd be a thorn at their hip. They'd be a thorn at their side. The most important Bible verse in America, as we look at India today as a part of China, and they have their own turtle. As a matter of fact, their turtle goes north further than our turtle goes over here. Their turtle goes to the North Pole, and you will see the two lakes of the turtle being India and around Thailand, vaguely. But as you enter into India, you're actually entering through the side and through the hip. And again, they would be a thorn at the side, a thorn at the hip. And that is in Numbers chapter verse 33:55. What's interesting about that is the same thing that they planned for the other people would happen to them. And in some of the case suffixes on the Hebrew word, it seems to be futuristic. So the thing which was intended for other people would be for them, but maybe in the future. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Back to the turtle, there's so much to say about this spot. If you were to go to Greenland, you would see that there was a backside to that Jesus cross, and there's something on the backside, and that Great Lakes, which we're looking at, was on the backside, and that's from Greenland. And so, but if you look around your back from Greenland, you'll see a giant figure of a Kong Dong, or if you've already assimilated the European super duper rabbit, you would see that he actually has a private part that is humongous, and it happens to take up Norway on this map. And so it gives you a little bit of both virtues. It gives you a little bit of yin and yang. the backside of. More on that in a minute. But like we were saying, that the cross is now has a closed fist around the same area, and so that's this is going to take us to Jacanias and Saltaiil. There goes the open hand again of the cross, and but as we look in the Bible, Jacanias and Saltaiil were from the lineage of Jesus, and they went into Babylon, which means confusion, during the time of slavery. There goes that closed fist again, and we already know it's around that closed fist. There was a guy skiing there, and the guy skiing was going from west to east and then east to west. He put something in a turtle's mouth, which ends up being not just a turtle which goes vertically north and south, but when you turn it to the side, there's the cross again. And the cross has an open hand and a closed fist, which brings us to the master, the yin and yang. There it is again, the closed fist. Okay, and so, all right, let's take a look at Jacanias and Saltaiil again. They're going to be in verse 12. And as they go into Babylon, Jacanias and Saltaiil were begotten together. They were one after another. And that's when they were enslaved. Okay. What does this have to do with black people? Black people were brought to America and were enslaved. And the Mississippi River is the longest river in the United States of America, and it goes down to New Orleans. Okay, so this is the real Jakarta, and Jakarta is in Indonesia. Jakarta, slowly put, is Jakarta. Okay, and what we're looking at is a cross who has an open hand in Florida and a closed glove in Michigan. Should I say? Is this the Jacanias and Saltaiil from Matthew's chapter 1, lineage of Jesus? When they go into Babylon, they're brought in as slaves. Babylon means confusion. Look, when they put booties in the Bible and they gave it to black slaves who couldn't read or understand any English at this time frame, they destroyed the black man's mind. And this led to pornographic material. You have things like cum in the Bible, and I know it's sad, and these are things you can look up over the internet and find porno. You have asses and booties, and there's nothing else to say except for they disregarded, don't rewrite any of the words of this Bible, last pages of the Bible. There it is. If this is the testimony of Jesus Christ, then Jacanias and Saltaiil are in the Bible for slaves in confusion. Then we are eternally indebted to black people. If Jacanias and Saltaiil is what we're looking at as the testimony of Jesus Christ, Michigan forms the longest river in the United States, called the Mississippi River, and it only lands in one bingo location, which is New Orleans. We are eternally indebted to black people. We are so sorry to our black people for giving you a godly ornament, the Bible, which put booties, asses, coming, and other pornographic material for your children to read. We are sorry. If that is, this could be, or is it the testimony of Jesus Christ? America is sorry for what they have done.